Giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahushai, by Hashem Rakakadash. Double homage to the elders of GMS. Also salutations to all the Akim out there that's pushing this truth. And also shalom to the rest of the hopeful elect. And I'm not going to even say this is a quick lesson, but it's going into how Esau want to, up his surveillance, monitor, every little thing, what you're doing, whether you're taking a shit or going to go buy a bag of chips, driving, right? Most of the cars have GPS systems in it and also cameras, you're being watched through your phone, your laptop, your, what else? Phone, laptop, tablet, what else? TV. I was just watching a video earlier, which I tried to find it, but it was a Jake said he felt like he was, being watched, said he couldn't sleep. And he shined the light on the TV, and like on the bottom right hand corner of the TV is a goddamn Moabite. Like almost like they was doing like a screen share or whatever. But he can see the dude talking, on the TV, But let's read some of this article. It says, read it over again. New York announces it will take citizen surveillance and censorship to the next level. And you're already being watched, all right? So this is basically going into what you call it, dystopia society, It's a term called Big Brother is watching, okay? Matter of fact, hold on. Big Brother is watching. All right, so we're going to put that on there too. All right, and we probably shoot back to there. Okay. So let's read through some of this. It says, like the plot to a dystopian movie, New York will now monitor social media. Right, that's another way that they're collecting information on you or watching you. Because everybody's on social media now. And everybody express their thoughts on social media. So it's collecting data. And use law enforcement to crack down on any expression it deems to be hate speech, right? So you can apply that to us. Now that's written, hold on, let's grab this real quick. All right, we'll get right back to that. Okay, Isaiah 29 and 21. It says, they make a man an offender for a word. They lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate. So like I said, that can apply to us too. All right, but anybody else that's considered an enemy to the state, Oh, matter of fact, it's a movie with Will Smith in it. It's called Enemy of the State. And they was showing you all the technology then. And they was hunting Will Smith down. I mean, the dude couldn't fucking get away, man. All right, from the tracking devices, from the satellites, and all kind of different cameras, man. All right, a complete police state. Okay. It says, right, and turn aside. Let's read that over again. To make a man an offender for a word, and lay a snare for him that reproveth in the gate. Right, that's what. That's a prophet. Him that's reproving in the gate. And turn aside the just for a thing of naught, all right? But the time is going to come that you won't be able to speak your mind, or we won't be out there in the streets, all right? It says New York Governor Katie Hochul, which this is old. New York Governor, this article is like 2 years old, but it keep popping up, So I'm like, I got to do a lesson on this. New York Governor Kathy Hochul announced on Monday that the state will wrap up surveillance efforts to social media accounts. Right? When was that? some came out a couple, I don't know, maybe last year, right? That basically they're watching, your YouTube videos, they're watching what you watch, on YouTube, and they're looking at your what you call that, your Gmail accounts and all that shit. So you want you the ones that that's watching these videos, hey, they're watching you too. You might not be on the highways and byways, all right, but they watching what you watching, you know. So you're not exempt from judgment either, or being persecuted. Think about it. We're just on the front lines, all right, to be persecuted first. You see, but that's this devil playing God, man. He wants to see everything. He wants to hear everything. He want to know when you're eating, when you're sleeping, when you're having sex. It says we'll take proactive measures, including contacting people of suspicion using hate speech. Haqal cited the rise in anti-Semitic activity in New York, and especially New York City, where the world's largest population of the Jays outside of Israel reside. Haqal also mentioned alleged Islamic phobic incidents where she claimed were increasing, going underreported. The governor said she would also be increasing police presence. See, so it's a complete police state. When she stated has been focused on protecting potential targets, including synagogues and yeshivas and mosques and other places that could be susceptible to hate crimes or violence as a part of that Haqal explained. Right, so these devils, look, they're really and like I said, this is 2 years ago. 2 years ago. Let's grab another scripture real quick. Just go to the classic scripture, Revelations 12:12. Right, because like I said, they're locking down. They're making their moves. Therefore rejoice ye heavens, and ye that dwell in them. Woe unto the inhabitants of the earth and of the sea. Right, because why? Look what's taking place. You're being watched at all times. You see, they're collecting all your information, right? What you call that? Man, it slipped my mind. Your DNA, right? They said during COVID, right? They collected so many people, DNA, you know. So this dude is really on some shit. It says, for the devil is come down unto you having great wrath, because he knoweth that he have but a short time. Right? So look, so Esau is watching everything. Okay? He's lurking. Like let's say the devil lurking, seeking whom he may devour. But the people that, well, first of all, he want to devour the saints, right? Or anybody that's not that's not going to submit to him, That's why he got those concentration camps, those different FEMA camps, and I'm probably gonna start going back into that information, That's almost like ancient information now, because this is bringing that out in the early 2000s, 2000s and up, we was bringing those things out, But I might just do that, And guess what? You can't find that information on the internet anymore. So that's another thing. Hey, back when YouTube was fresh, you was able to find videos on YouTube, with the FEMA trains and the FEMA camps, right? Or a different legislation that was passed for like Rex 84. Some of that shit you can't find, but it's all good. Let's read some more of this. We are very focused on data we're collecting from surveillance efforts being said on social media platforms. We have launched an effort to be able to counter all negativity, reach out to the people when we see hate speech being spoken about online platforms. Our media analysts, our social analyst unit. It's funny because now they care about hate speech, right? But you can go on Twitter and you see all kind of people saying all kind of crazy shit. Hey, you didn't have the KKK saying wild shit for decades, you know. But look, didn't nobody care about hate speech until the Israelites came on the scene. So going back to that Isaiah, they make a man what? Offender for a word. You see? That's when all this hate speech shit started. All this hate speech and all, man. People been saying hateful shit. Mainly you starting with you fucking Edomites, you fucking white people. Our media analysts, our social media analyst unit has ramped up its monitoring of sites to catch incitement to violence, direct threats, and others, and all this is to respond our desire, our strong commitment to ensure that not only New Yorkers be safe, but they also feel safe and personal security about everything for them. All right. Now, we're going to read a little bit more of this. All right. But I'm going to go into some scriptures because an article on like this, I still got to leave some room for the scriptures, That's just me. So let's go into a couple scriptures, man. And show you, this devil, he's trying to be like the Most High. He wants his eyes everywhere, And I got some scriptures set up. This is Chronicles 2:16. It says, "For the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the earth." You see, and that's what he's trying to do. He's trying to mimic the Lord, right? He want to know when you're sleeping, all right? He want to put a curfew time out there, or what you call that? Damn, we just talking about it. But basically, carbon, right? Carbon dioxide, right? Oh, you can't have a garden or you can't drive cars, So he really wants to be the Most High. He even want to see if you grow in a garden, but making it that you can't leave the house. But the eyes of the Lord run to and fro throughout the earth to show himself strong in behalf of them whose heart is perfect toward him, wherein thou hast foolishly, therefore, from henceforth thou have wars, right? But the point is, the eyes of the Lord, run to and fro throughout the earth, and that's the concept that this devil is trying to bring, him trying to be like the Most High. Let's get some other precepts of that. Job 34:21 says, "For his eyes are upon the ways of man, and he seeth all his goings." And that's talking about the Most High. You see, but Esau desired to be just like that. He wanna know what kind of food you like, what kind of liquor you like, what kind of women you like, Basically, you have no privacy, because some things should just be a person should have some kind of secret, some kind of secrecy, or should I say privacy, Everybody don't have to know everything, fucking about you. It says, Proverbs 15:3, "The eyes of the Lord are in every place, beholding the good and the evil." You see? So you get that, right? Let's grab another one. Eyes up on there. Right, let's read Jeremiah 16:2. Jeremiah 16:17. "For my eyes are upon all their ways. They are not hid from my face. Neither is there iniquity hid from my eyes." See, and that's the desire of the so-called white man. He want to know what kind of things get you off. What kind of things fucking rouse you up. What's your what kind of passion do you have for certain things. So he's constantly building these phones, or all these different devices. Like you can be thinking something, or either or you can just be talking to a friend, right? We just mentioned chicken, right? And I want some chicken. You go to your fucking phone, right? And all kind of chicken places fucking pop up, or I like to go to a concert. You fucking go to your phone and you got a bunch of concerts popping up, you know. Like on here, they'll use a site like this, and they have all kind of fucking forgot what you call it. Uh, you know what I'm talking about though. you know, they have those different things popping up because that's how this devil work, man. You know. Hold on. So let's grab another scripture. This dude has a very wicked, like it says in the book of Habakkuk, the spirit that is in him is not upright. You know, he desired to want to be like the Most High, but he's nothing like the Most High. Hold on, bear with me. Salakia. So let's go here. Book of Thessalonians. Hold on. Because I don't want to read the whole thing, so. Bear with me. Hold on. Okay, it's Second Thessalonians. What the fuck? Hold on. Phone tweaking. All right. Second Thessalonians 2:4. It says, "Who opposeth and exalteth himself above all that is called the Most High, or that is worship, so that he as Yahweh sit up in the temple of Yahweh, showing himself that he is Yahweh," right? So he wants to be like the Most High, right? He want to be able to see everything, he's even chipping the fucking animals, the whales, you know. That's why he can tell you, oh, it's such and such, so many animals left. Oh, this is the kind of individual that we're dealing with. So let's read a little bit more of this, and we'll probably close up. If the spirit jump on me to get some other scriptures, then I will. She stated that most. She stated that everyone must work together, adding, if anyone thinks they can get away with spreading hate, yeah, but hey, see, so-called white man is a hypocrite. Uh, but I think it says what? Hold on, what is that at? I could be thinking about another scripture. All right, let me see. Hypocrites. I think the scripture might be in Isaiah. Here the scripture says they practice hypocrisy. I could be mixing it up. Could be mixing it up. You know what? But this one right here is Job. It's good though too. It says the triumphant of the wicked. It's your Job 20:5. It says The triumphant of the wicked is short, and the joy of the hypocrite is but for a moment. So they only gonna be able to get away with this just for a short amount of time, to the Lord bring these devils down, man. Because all this proud talking, it's really just just flat out hypocrisy, because it's written, right. It's written in the book of Sirach. It says, so is the king, so is the people. All right. And then it says, what you reap what you sow. Right. So you sow wickedness and hate and envy throughout all the earth. Right. Now you worry about, people spoiling you. When you shall cease to spoil you, now they shall spoil you. You see? So this devil is a hypocrite. If any thinks that they can get away with spreading hate or harming other New Yorkers and violating the law, you will be caught. You will be caught in the state of New York because we are ramping up our sources to ensure that everyone can live freely. Right? Look at that. Get the fuck out of here. We have been involved in this, and we protect and we've protected speech. We will protected speech. We will not protect people committing hate crimes. Not here in Manhattan, not in any borough, not in any of the 62 counties, not on the college campus, not in the house of worship. She told, see, so look, man, brother just did a video earlier, where they plan on giving people 2 years in prison. You see, if you I'll say if you don't take the chip, if you're street preaching, She told the media that the state have already increased capacities for surveillance as well as responding to terrorist threats in the aftermath of the Buffalo massacre that occurred May 2022, right? And I'm gonna stop right there. I hope you was edified, man. Keep your eye out on these devils, man. You know, as you can see, because this article is actually from 2 years ago, right? And we can already see, where things are headed in this society. So giving all praise and glory to Yahweh, by Hashem Yahweh Shai, by Hashem Hakadash. Double honors to the elders of GMS. Also salutations to all the Akim out there that's pushing this truth. And also shalom to the rest of the whole select.